Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are strapping in for quite a ride, actually, a high-speed business journey. We're focusing on a fascinating case study, really looking at that exact moment when a developing economy hits the jackpot, so to speak, and suddenly needs global infrastructure, like now.
Yeah, and our sources today give us a really clear window into that. It's a core logistical puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you rapidly deploy, high quality professional corporate support into a market that's just been fundamentally reshaped, especially by something like massive natural resource discoveries?
Right. The old way, building offices brick by brick, it just isn't fast enough.
Not even close.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to understand how flexible workspace, and specifically the serviced office model, becomes the immediate answer, the surgical solution almost.
Hmm.
And the focus is on a giant in this field, Regus.
Hmm.
We're looking at their remarkably strategic move,
Mm.
launching their very first center in Guyana down in South America.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more than just, signing a lease. It feels like a big indicator of where global capital is flowing.
It really does.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Why Guyana? What is it about this specific South American nation right now that makes it such a critical place for a company like Regus to plant its flag?
Well, fundamentally, it comes down to speed and scale.
Yeah.
And it's all driven by this resource boom. The sources are pretty clear. This expansion, it's a direct, calculated response to Guyana's economy just taking off.
Right.
The catalyst, it's those huge recent offshore oil discoveries. I mean, game-changing discoveries. And that's triggered this massive immediate influx of international players. You've got drilling engineers, service providers, legal teams, finance people, all needing a professional place to work basically yesterday.
And these countries, you're right, especially the big oil and gas players,
Mhm.
they simply cannot wait 2 years for a fancy office tower to go up. They land with cash and orders to start immediately.
Precisely. And the local market, it
Yeah.
just wasn't ready to absorb that kind of sudden high-spec demand. Then you look at Regus's scale. I mean, it's vast. What is it? 300, 100 business centers across 1,000 cities, 110 countries. So this new center in Guyana, it's not just a standalone office. It's plugging a suddenly booming city into this huge existing global corporate network. And that instant connectivity, that's incredibly valuable.
That instant credibility, too.
Yeah.
That seems like the first big point for you, the listener. A serviced office, this flexible workspace idea.
Mm.
It's not just renting a desk, is it? It's more like buying immediate operational capacity and
Yeah.
connectivity.
That's exactly right. And for anyone less familiar, the serviced office model, it really solves that pain point of setup time and, crucially, capital expenditure. You skip the long-term lease headache, the fit-out costs, deploying all the IT, hiring reception staff. Regus just hands you the keys to a fully operational professional workspace.
Right out of the box.
Pretty much. It's a plug-and-play solution, perfectly tailored to support an economy that's suddenly sprinting.
So the immediate takeaway, and it seems like all the sources really hammer this home,
Hmm?
is that this launch is seen instantly as a big positive. A boost for the overall ease of doing business in Guyana.
Definitely.
It's basically a fast-track compliance checkbox for these foreign companies coming in.
It is. It lowers that barrier to entry significantly. Think about it. If your main goal is getting oil out of the ground, you don't want to be messing around with local building permits or arguing with internet provider.
No, you want to focus on the core mission.
Exactly. You want to pay a monthly fee and have your team working professionally, like tomorrow, which is why the focus is so squarely on attracting and supporting that international oil and gas sector.
Okay, that need for speed clearly drives the location choice, too. So let's drill down into the specifics.
Yeah.
Where exactly is this new hub? We know Georgetown, the capital, but the exact address. Was there strategic thinking there?
Well, Georgetown is obviously the epicenter for all this new activity, and they've strategically placed the center in the new Trafalgar building. The exact street number, 165 Waterloo Street, maybe isn't the key detail, but the area, North Cummingsburg, that's significant. It's a prime commercial district.
Mm-hmm.
So planting the flag there signals confidence, accessibility, right in the heart of the capital's business zone. It's set up to handle that increased velocity of business traffic you'd expect.
So a company executive flies in from Houston or Aberdeen. They walk into this Regus Center.
Yeah.
What do they actually get? It's not just four bare walls, presumably.
Oh, absolutely not. It's designed as a comprehensive business environment. Ready to go, instantly functional. The new Regus Guyana Center offers a whole suite of options, tailored for everything from a multinational CEO popping in to maybe a semi-permanent project team.
Right.
So that means private, fully kitted out office spaces, flexible co-working areas for maybe contractors or smaller teams, professional meeting rooms, all the tech included,
Oh.
and even a dedicated business lounge for those quick chats or networking.
And that's the real advantage for the user, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is instant infrastructure, basically funded by some.
And crucially, that ready-made presence comes with flexibility baked right into the rental model. The sources really highlight this. Both short-term and long-term agreements are on the table. Think about a company doing, say, initial seismic surveys or exploratory drilling.
Okay.
They might fly in 50 specialists for maybe 4 months, need a massive office footprint temporarily, but then, boom, that phase ends, and maybe they only need 2 permanent reps staying on.
Yeah, try doing that with a traditional 5-year lease. You'd be stuck.
Absolutely sunk.
Okay.
Exactly. Flexibility is the antidote to that volatility you always see in resource industries. The ability to scale up or scale down with minimal fuss and zero capital loss. That's arguably the most critical feature the oil and gas sector needs there right now. They can put their capital into drilling, not drywall.
Okay, so we've clearly established the private sector need, the business case. But let's broaden out. Look at the bigger economic picture. When a global player like Regus enters a market that's developing this fast, there's usually some kind of governmental response, right?
Yeah.
How did the Guyanese authorities see this investment?
Oh, they definitely saw it as foundational. This wasn't just another business opening. The move got direct and pretty enthusiastic governmental endorsement. It was recognized not just as a commercial transaction, but as a critical piece of the national infrastructure needed for this whole boom to actually succeed.
Interesting. Which minister specifically commented on it?
It was the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Farhat. He specifically pointed out that serviced office providers like Regus offer a really necessary, valuable solution, especially, he said, for companies in oil and gas, precisely because they demand that instant, professional, and importantly, compliant workspace.
Right, compliant. That's key too.
Yeah, that endorsement really confirms that flexible workspace isn't seen as some niche luxury anymore. It's viewed as an essential enabler of foreign direct investment in this context.
That ministerial validation is huge, isn't it? It shows they get it. To attract the big global fish, you need to provide the right kind of pond. We also heard from the people on the ground, the operational side, managing this entry. What were their main points?
Well, Mark Linehan, he's the managing director for the Regus franchise partner in the Caribbean. His focus was really on this idea of building dynamic business communities. For him, Guyana is kind of the next logical step in a global strategy that's worked elsewhere. They're not just renting out space. They see it as cultivating an environment where these incoming international firms can connect, collaborate, accelerate local economic activity that way.
Makes sense. And the local voice. Rowena Elliott, she's the community sales manager for Regus Guyana. Her focus seemed a bit more long-term about the country's transformation.
Absolutely. She really emphasized that flexible working isn't just some temporary fix or fad. She sees it as being crucial for Guyana's long-term growth, like over the next decade. And she specifically linked this flexible model to the ongoing demands from that accelerating oil and gas sector. It's like an acknowledgement that, yeah, the old ways of setting up shop just won't cut it, given the speed things are moving at now.
So if we connect all these dots, the bigger picture here, this isn't really just about an office opening, is it? It highlights how these core services, like flexible workspace, they're actually necessary ingredients, foundational stuff for a successful, fast-moving economy. Without this kind of instant infrastructure, maybe that economic growth gets choked off by logistics.
Precisely. Yeah, the overall feeling, the anticipation from everyone involved, Regus, the companies using the space, the government, it's all pointing towards a pretty substantial positive economic ripple effect. By basically removing the headache of setting up a physical presence, they make it easier to do business for these big international players. And, maybe just as importantly, they provide a modern working template that existing local businesses can potentially tap into and learn from too.
That's a fantastic summary of the synergy here. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the main takeaways from this deep dive for you. We've seen Regus, a global giant, make a very deliberate, strategic first-ever launch in Georgetown, Guyana. That move, directly fueled by the country's massive oil boom, which created this non-negotiable immediate need for scalable professional corporate infrastructure. It really is a perfect storm, almost a scalable global solution, meeting the intense demands of a rapidly developing market.
And, since we've established just how closely the rise of flexible workspace is tied to the speed and, well, the volatility of this kind of economic development, it does raise an interesting question, something for you to think about beyond our sources today. If this flexible office model is proving to be the most effective tool for attracting capital and speeding up entry into these boom cities,
Hmm.
what does that mean for traditional commercial real estate? The long-term lease developers.
Hmm.
Are they being structurally sidelined here? Or is the flexible model just the temporary front door, eventually handing off stable, mature clients to the traditional landlords down the line?
Is flexible the permanent future in these scenarios, or just the super fast on-ramp, something to definitely mull over as you watch economies accelerate around the world? Look for those logistical choke points and see how speed and scalability are solving them. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into global expansion and instant infrastructure. We'll catch you next time.